There we go. Thank you, Colin. My name is Gabe Lavin. To my right is Nezih Antakli on percussion. And then we have John Murchison here on an instrument called the qanun. Thank you. We're representing, I guess we're kind of representing an organization.
We have nothing to do with it.
Anyways, we're happy to be here. We're going to be performing some Palestinian music and Arabic music. Normally our friend Sami Abu Shamais would be performing with us tonight, but he couldn't make it. And most importantly, he sings. So we're going to be performing some songs for you, just instrumentally. The first piece we're going to play is actually originally an instrumental piece by a very famous Palestinian composer named Ruhi al-Khamash. He spent most of his life in Iraq because his family was kicked out of Palestine in 1948 during the Nakba, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with. So he spent most of his life in Iraq as a music educator, composer, and became very famous. So he's very important not only to the modern musical history of Iraq, but also Palestine. So we're going to perform one of his compositions, and it's in a kind of a classical piece, and we'll kind of keep it upbeat maybe a little bit.
Yeah, we'll do a little
and John's going to kind of introduce the mode for you, kind of like the amazing flute player did for the Irish music. John's going to kind of introduce the musical mode or maqam of this piece for you all. So enjoy.
Yeah. But I'm playing the qanun. Raise your hand if you've seen the qanun before. Just a few people. So I thought I'd just say just a quick word about the qanun. It is a zither type instrument. It is the great grandmother of piano type instruments. If you ever look inside a piano, it kind of looks like this with 3 strings per note. And I play it with these picks. I have a pick and a ring that holds the pick to my finger on each of these. And I play along, and it's tuned diatonically like the white keys on a piano. But you'll see I have all these switches on one side that allow me to change notes while I'm playing. And anyway, just wanted to explain what this thing here is. Maybe in tune? Maybe?
I'm good.
I'll say the next song is, do you want to say it talks about Abdeli Saad?
So the next song we're going to play is actually a song written in the 1920s by a famous Egyptian composer whose name was Sayyid Darwish. And it was 1920s in Egypt was a very turbulent time, as it was in Palestine, in terms of anti-colonial movements and the constitutional movement in Egypt. So this song was sort of a dedication of that. Kind of encourage. The song is called Ahu Dili Sar wa Ahu Dili Kan, which means that's what happened and that's what is. And sort of it's just one of the anthems from the era about kind of anti-colonial struggle and the importance of solidarity between Egyptians and to fight colonial rule. But this song has become an anthem kind of throughout the Arab world to kind of shake the shackles of colonial legacy, and obviously has a lot of resonance with Irish history and the Irish struggle. And this is a song we perform a lot with various groups, Arabic music groups throughout the city, because the song has continued relevance, particularly, with the current situation with genocide and shaking the shackles of colonialism, not only in Palestine, but throughout the Arab world and throughout the world in general, including in Ireland. So
the human world.
The human world, yeah. So normally Sami Abu Shamais, who's a violinist that would be playing with us, he couldn't make it tonight. He would normally sing this song, but we'll just play it instrumentally, so you can just at least feel the sentiment of the song through the music. So enjoy.
Nice. You want to do a oud? You want to do the dulab and then first?
Yes, to both. What channel is that? I feel like it's creating a lot of Okay.
Taksim or
Should we do the same do Abu Do with Sami?
yeah, sure. Are you gonna do a Taksim between?
Yeah, was that what you thinking?
Yeah, so I was gonna say. Okay. And so we're gonna start with a very short intro, and then you're gonna get a solo by Gabe on the oud, and maybe he'll tell you more about the oud after the song. But we'll give him a chance to kind of showcase the instrument for a bit.
How are we doing on time, Colin? Do you all want to come back up, or should we play one more? What?
One more.
One more. All right. This is one that Colin requested. This next piece is a very famous Palestinian lullaby called Yamma Muel al-Hawa, which basically means, "Oh mother, how beautiful is love." So we're going to play an instrumental version of this. This is also a piece commonly played in the Arabic music scene throughout New York City, as well as just abroad. This is one of the most famous songs in the Arab world. So, Yamma Muel al-Hawa.
A couple times Gabe has mentioned that, this is a song we play a lot around New York City. And I just wanted to say that there's an awesome, vibrant, busy, beautiful Arabic music scene in New York. But further, there's actually, the three of us are very active in the Arabic music scene in New York, but none of us are actually Palestinian. But I just wanted to acknowledge that in New York City in particular, we have this amazing Arabic music scene, and it is driven by some really important Palestinian musicians. Some of the most important musicians in the Arabic music scene in New York are Palestinian musicians, and so it's like especially important to us. I'm speaking on behalf of these guys, but it's important to us. The mark on our lives and on the Arabic scene, the Arabic music scene in New York in particular, is really led by Palestinians who are either living here abroad or they are descendants of people who were displaced in 1948. So just want to let you guys know that really it's a big part of the scene here, and we're really proud to be performing this music.